So I've got everything set out that I need to do for the powder, highlight, and contour. Um, I use the same highlighting powder that I use to set the cream highlight for my usual highlight. For the contour, I use one, two, three different colors. I don't bring up the third color until later, and I'll show you why. The first color that I use to contour is Taupe by Ben Nye. It's kind of a light brown. And the second color that I use is Raisin by Ben Nye. It's got kind of a red undertone. Alright, so let's get started. For the highlights, we're going to hit the same areas that we just did a minute ago. For the taupe, I take a small fluffy brush. When I'm getting into small areas like the cheekbones, I just squish it flat. So I get a little bit of taupe on the brush. And I'll start with the forehead. See? The cheekbones, I'm squishing the brush. A little trick when you're doing the cheekbones is that after you've gotten the color down on your cheek, take a little bit of it and go right in between the highlight and the contour. So you're kind of pre-blending. See how it just kind of fades? Little tricks will save you time in the long run. And the more you paint, the more tricks you learn, the faster you get. See that? Mm-hmm. Everything's fixable. So if you think you screwed up something, don't panic. Unless it's black powder or liquid eyeliner, then it's going to take a little bit of work to fix it. There. Jawline. Okay, and that's it for taupe. I don't bother doing my nose in taupe because it's going to be such a small line anyways. The taupe's really not going to add much of an effect of anything. Um, Speaking of which, I need that brush. Okay, now for the raisin. Why I use more than one color to do my contour is that when I blend it, it gives it a lot more depth. When you look at people, they don't have a flat skin tone. They're not strictly one shade. There's going to be variations within the skin, especially where there's contouring and highlighting where parts of the body come forward or where they go backwards. It's not going to be one solid color. Likewise, when you're painting your face, you shouldn't just use one solid color. That's the raisin on the forehead. And then on the cheekbone. I'm going to do this cheekbone. If you're new to painting your face, a trick is to, if you're right-handed, start with the left side of your face, and if you're left-handed, start with the right side of your face. Because your dominant side is always going to be easier to paint than your non-dominant side. So if you do something over here and you're not sure if you can match it, it'll be easier on your dominant side to be able to control the brush. See? Boom. Cheekbones. Jawline. Okay. Darken that up a little bit. Nose. For the nose, I like to have a really thin nose, and I like to give myself a button nose. I'm going to show you how to do that. So I take a small pencil brush, the raisin. I'm going to just go, see if you can see that, down the sides of my nose. One side. The other side. And then I take a little bit on the brush and I just make a line right there. See? That makes it look like that part of my nose is sticking out and there's a bump right there. So it makes me look like I have an upturned nose. Okay? Now the only difference between the previous highlight is I like to take a little bit of highlight and go right underneath the jawbone so you can see it a little bit better. So I just take the same sponge that I used before and go right underneath it. There. And then I bring that color down. And do the same thing on the other side. Make sure they're even. You always want to look back and forth to both sides of your face. There. See? Okay. While you're painting your face and doing contouring, a little trick if you've got smaller lips is you can make your bottom look a little bit better, a little bit bigger, if you just add shadow right there. See? So that automatically makes my bottom look like it's bigger. Just a little bit. Right there in the middle. Okay, now that we've got our highlight and contour on, we're going to sit and cook, which means we're going to let it sit into our makeup. That I usually sit for maybe about 5 minutes, 10 minutes if I've got extra stuff that I got to do, burn music, pack stuff, or I just sit and relax and listen to some music that I'm going to be performing that night and go over the lyrics. So I'm going to cook, and then I'll be back to show you how to blend.